The second topic, very quickly, is the topic of the Peace Council. You all have been running around, everyone panicked, of course, because when something is one way, it's bad, and when it's another way, it's also bad. We received an invitation to this institution 2 days after my return from the USA. I think it was on Tuesday. We returned on Sunday, and on Tuesday we already had an invitation to the Peace Council. From the very beginning, it was not clear what it was about. That is why we approached the matter, where it is not completely clear what it is about, again, confidently. And allow me a brief genesis. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not remember what position I, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the entire government took on Venezuela? We took a very firm stance, where we stated that it is a gross violation of international law, that it is a collapse of the world order, that it is a disregard for the fundamental principles on which this world stands. Yes, I expected that after such a strong statement, there would be to the cancellation of my visit to the USA. But ultimately, an agreement was signed between Slovakia and the USA regarding cooperation in the nuclear sector. So I did not have it as the interest of the United States in economic for cooperation with Slovakia, regardless of our positions on international law. At the meeting we held in the United States, we emphasized the importance of peaceful negotiations and dialogue in resolving any conflicts. Despite all of this, I appreciate that an agreement on nuclear cooperation was signed. Now we are moving forward, discussing how far we can go in terms of collaboration with specific companies in the construction of a new nuclear block. We, of course, went to the invitation we received from the American administration to participate as a member of the Peace Council, a council to be established as an institution for the needs of peaceful resolution in the Gaza conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I stand here as the sovereign Prime Minister of the Slovak Republic, and we are not reacting frantically because it came from the United States, so now we should jump on it immediately. Or it came from another side, so we should jump on it immediately. We believe that existing international institutions, like the UN, need to be reformed, but not abolished. As Slovakia, we have a great interest in becoming a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for the years 2028-2029. And during all our visits, we ask our partners for support of our membership in the Security Council. We are not advocates of the creation of any parallel structures about which we do not know everything. First, I want to say that the government of the Slovak Republic will never spend any membership fees to join a similar institution. If there is an idea, about which we also still know little, that €1 billion or $1 billion should be paid, I say, in advance, no, that's simply not possible. Therefore, such an invitation to such an institution cannot be associated with such membership, which the Slovak Republic will not pay. That is the first point. Secondly, I am not entirely sure if the Peace Council is supposed to be an organ general for several cases, or if it is an ad hoc institution whose aim is to focus solely on Gaza, having a temporary nature. We cannot replace international law. We cannot replace the existence of the UN Security Council. We cannot replace the UN with some new institutions if we think that something is not functioning as it should. We will address this topic tomorrow in the government, with the invitation and the conditions that are there. I am speaking for myself now. I think that Slovakia should gratefully decline this invitation, and we should not pursue it further. Nonetheless, Slovakia will be among the countries that have always called and will continue to call for peace. You know that, whether it's in the case of Gaza, Ukraine, or other countries, we are advocating for a peaceful solution. A peaceful solution and a peaceful solution. A peaceful solution and a peaceful solution. I will always conduct a proud and sovereign foreign policy. And if that's not enough, I'll add that a few days after returning from the USA, I met with the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Trade of the Republic of Cuba, and I am preparing my visit to Cuba. We have our own interests there. I think it's important for the Slovak Republic to be as active as possible in Central America. We have invested a lot in these relations in the past and need to continue, because in the years 2020 to 2023, these relations will be completely interrupted. Therefore, our stance is clear, predictable, and consistent. And we will not behave like some drifters, influenced by which way the wind blows. We are sovereign and proud politicians. Therefore, our stance on these proposals is as pragmatic as possible.